Welcome back to the Dynasty Arsenal podcast, episode 24. 24 episodes under our belt. We are professional podcasters now. People are asking, people are saying. I am Sammy and Tags, joined as always by my good friend and co-host Tags, and we are in the heart of, I think, my favorite part of the Dynasty offseason. It's been a lot of, player takes, talking about what could happen throughout the offseason so far. But now, in the last week of February, today as we're recording this, is the first day of the Combine. My timeline is filled with just random coach quotes. We're going to get into free agency. And yeah, I just love this time of year so much. I don't know if you feel the same way, Tags.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I always love the weird interview questions that teams always break out for players. And it's like, what's your favorite animal to see at the zoo? And the player's like, I don't know, polar bears? Like, what does this have to do with playing football?
Yeah.
And then the GMs are like, interesting. Like what does that mean for my stock?
Yeah, they're very football guys, they can be a little off the rails sometimes, and those questions coming out are always very, very funny. But so what we're going to do today on that theme, we're going to talk free agency and sort of in addition to that, trade candidates, players that have been rumored. And basically, we're going to talk about where we make some predictions on where we think these players will land.
Yeah,
so we're going
to shoot some shots, throw some darts, see. It'll be fun to revisit in a month or two once we kind of have landing spots for everything and see what our hit rate was here.
Yeah, exactly. Because I tried to be very much I hate some of these landing spots that I picked. Like, this is not me predicting dream case scenario.
The thing is, right? Free agency a lot of times isn't as fun it's never as fun as we're hoping it would be. It gets
hyped up a lot.
Teams are re-signing this player, so his situation's not changing. It's a lot.
And the franchise tag just ruins absolutely everything.
God, I hate the franchise tag. Let's just
Hall,
get rid of it.
We'll talk about Breece Hall, but Darren Muji on the podium today said that if they don't reach an extension by March 3rd, they are going to tag him. So just holding players hostage.
I was gonna say, it feels like blackmail, does it not?
Dude, literally, I saw Daniel Jeremiah tweeted this out, and I thought this was very funny. I'm too young to have ever gone to Blockbuster Video, but he was like, but I can relate to this a little bit. He was like, the franchise tag and free agency is like when you go and you see that there's it lists, or there's a little cardboard thing that says this movie is here. And then you're like, oh, I want that movie. And you go, and then there's nothing behind the cardboard because they're all gone. That's the franchise tag.
The amount of times that I have actually been to Blockbuster and that happened, I was like, my 8-year-old self was devastated.
You're disappointed.
You're telling me the new Pokemon movie isn't available, but there's a whole cardboard section here that says it is.
Exactly. And that's the franchise tag. That's the franchise tag. Breece Hall will be stuck in New York forever. We'll see if we predict a potential trade, because if he's getting tagged, he's obviously not going to free agency. But I think we can jump right into it.
Let's do it.
With the quarterback position. And the first guy we're going to talk about, maybe the most exciting name that is 100% a free agent, is Malik Willis, who has not played a ton of football over the past few years. It seems like one of these things where we are maybe hyping up this player a little more than we should be, in my opinion, for the NFL's perspective. Obviously, for fantasy, this is Justin Fields 2.0, man.
It helps a lot that the rookie class is so rough on the QB
absolutely.
side. Because if we had a more exciting rookie class for quarterbacks, we would not be hyping up Malik Willis the way we are right now.
At least we know from Malik Willis that he will go somewhere and have a chance to start. I think that everything that is coming out right now from insiders and whatever is pointing in that direction. He is a free agent. It's not like Mac Jones where he would need to be traded. But Tags, where do you see what is your prediction for Malik Willis's landing spot?
So for fantasy, Malik Willis is fun. For the
Very
actual
much so.
NFL, he's not, but he has the rushing upside we want in a quarterback. he has the ability to put up quarterback number one numbers just based on that rushing upside. He played pretty well for the Packers in place of Love.
He looked fine. He looked fine.
He did not lose them games, which is a huge factor when you're coming in as a backup quarterback. He's currently being looked at by the Browns and the Dolphins. Dolphins GM and head coach both came from the Packers, where they know Willis. They know how to use him. I predict he's going to the Dolphins just based on familiarity with the coaching and ownership staff there. And I think they know how to best use him. So I feel pretty good that he's going to the Dolphins.
I think it's likely. I think there's 3 teams that are leading the way. It's the 2 you mentioned, and then also the Cardinals, who have been rumored a bunch, which would be hilarious that they're just like taking Kyler Murray and putting 2 inches on him and like, oh, this will work now.
If Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray 1.0, I feel like Malik Willis is Kyler Murray 0.5. They're rolling back a patch on Kyler Murray.
He's a little taller. He's a little taller,
a little
but
bit taller,
he's not. I don't know if he's
a little bit taller, not as much baller.
Yeah, I mean, you're right with the upside. Week 17 against Baltimore, Malik Willis was the quarterback 3, right? Running for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. He threw almost 300 passing yards. I think that in the right situation, this could work. The thing is that these teams that don't have quarterbacks, the situations aren't very good. Like Miami with a not very good offensive line, 27-year-old Jalen Waddle, Bobby Slowick at offensive coordinator, like that doesn't excite me. Arizona would not excite me, and my prediction, which is the Cleveland Browns, would also not excite me. I think that Todd Monken, having experience with a mobile quarterback, could see Malik Willis as a familiar archetype in a way, and I have no inclination, no faith. Faith normally means you want it to happen, which I don't care about Shedeur Sanders, but I don't think that this team is attached to Shedeur Sanders whatsoever. And I think that
I'd be concerned for Achane owners if he goes to the Dolphins, because we see it so many times where a mobile quarterback will go to a team and he cuts down on that running back's receiving potential because instead of dumping it off to the running back, he's just going to take it and use the running back as a blocker. So I'm concerned if he goes to the Dolphins for my Achane shares, because I think that's going to cut down on his receptions by 10 to 20 receptions a year. And that's a big chunk of what Achane does best, because so many rushing quarterbacks will just use their running back as a blocker rather than dumping it off to him.
I would also be concerned because the offense would just be worse, I think.
Absolutely.
Tua is not good. It hasn't been good, but Mike McDaniel did a very good job of playing to his weaknesses to limit them. And the offense was very good for Devon Achane specifically, right? With the Browns, I think that it's been rumored that he's likely to get the Justin Fields contract, like 2 by 20, like not a ton of commitment. But again, none of these landing spots will go through the other quarterbacks. None of them excite me. I'm saying Cleveland for Malik Willis. You're saying the Miami Dolphins. And I promise you, as soon as that happens, as soon as he gets the contract, I'm going to be on this podcast saying you should sell him.
I don't necessarily think you should sell him right away. I think he'll get a little bump, just by the fact that he's going to be guaranteed a starting job. But given his production profile, I think there's going to be some weeks where he finishes as a QB1, and I think that's when you sell.
Sure, I would just worry that it, like on a bad offense, that it goes terrible pretty quickly. And I think that there would be enough hype out. I guess it depends on the price. Whatever he rises to, we'll have to see. I just think that maybe this is me leaning too far in the other direction after the Justin Fields fiasco that I had in 2025. But I think that people are going to know as soon as he signs that he's capable of the quarterback 1 finish, of the top 12 finish. They're going to know about the boom bust potential. I think what will play out will likely be what we think is going to happen. And I would be fine moving off of that now. I don't think there's a problem to wait. But the next guy,
Well, even
this one can.
one final point. Justin Fields started this past season 31.5 points.
He was awesome.
4 points, rough. But he also got injured that game. And then he came back and scored 31 points, 30 points. So there was a 5-week window where you could have sold him because he put up 3 quarterback 1 finishes. He finishes as QB2, QB4, QB7 out of 4 weeks. So I think that's like your sell window. If you see Willis put up 2 quarterback 1 weeks in a row, then get out for a projected mid first.
Yeah, I guess so. There is that. There's also the risk that he's just terrible, and that he came in as a backup, and teams weren't ready to game plan for him on defense, and he looked okay. Like, I don't think Malik Willis at any point has ever looked as good as Justin Fields was as a prospect, or as Justin Fields looked at times as a Bear, and yeah, I would just.
But I do think that the Dolphins' offense is better than the Jets in that situation.
Probably marginally, but the Jets' offensive line was really good this year, and they had Breece Hall. Dolphins have Devon Achane. Yeah, I don't know.
I think at minimum, I just feel really confident that even if he plays bad from a passer perspective, his legs are going to give him QB1 finishes regardless.
I guess I'm saying that I think that whatever you're talking about being able to get after those QB1 finishes, you could probably get right after he signs. That's what I think the market is going to react
so you think
like.
The majority of his value boost is going to come, and then I guess topped off, there's a potential for maybe a 10% increase from there. And you think that 10% is just not worth the risk and just sell when you can.
I guess so. Yeah. I would say that
makes sense. Maybe
waiting till mid-season, but it's also going to be hard to sell a guy who just put up 3 30-point bombs in 4 weeks. You know what I mean?
This is where we need discipline, because it's always fun to be like, you know what? He's made it. He's here. He's in a good situation. He's balling out. Let's hold on. But then you do the Justin Fields and hold on too long, and you're holding the bag.
Like I was saying, to sell a first-round pick for Justin Fields this past year.
Yeah.
Like I said that on this pod, and if anybody did that, I apologize, because that went completely terrible. And I did it too.
I'll never forgive you for that.
Exactly. Daniel Jones is a free agent. All the word has been that they are working on a multi-year extension for him, and that is what I predict will happen. I don't know if you feel any differently about that. Yeah. I think he just re-signs in Indy. I don't see him getting a big enough deal elsewhere coming off the Achilles tear. The best situation for him is to stay in Indy, right? That system was really good for him. The Colts were insane. They were like as good as the 2007 Patriots to start the year on offense. So that's what I think will happen with Daniel Jones. I worry, we'll get into this more later in the offseason, heading into 2026. I worry that the offense won't be nearly as good as it was, because he won't be able to move around like he did. He wasn't running a ton, but he was mobile. And coming off the Achilles tear, maybe that's not the case. But I think that he signs in Indy, and his value as one of these very low-end starters is probably where it should be.
Yeah, I think Steichen has been looking for a quarterback that can run his system, and I can only imagine how frustrating it was for him stumbling through Anthony Richardson trying to run that system for a while. And he really unlocked it. That offense came out on fire, was the hottest offense in the NFL. And Daniel Jones ran it perfectly. He was top 10 in yards per attempt, top 10 in yards per game, top 10 in passer rating, and top 10 in QBR during that stretch. So I think they get a deal done. Colts have a ton of cap space. They have the 11th most cap space in the league. So I don't see a better option for them.
Completely agree. Next up, now there really isn't anything else as a free agent. Aaron Rodgers.
Retire or no retire?
I think that he retires.
We had this exact conversation already. It was dusted or
Dust or bust.
dust or bust.
But those are both bad.
That does seem bad. I mean, bust can mean like, oh, he's busting out.
Well, bust. Okay, we're not going to go there.
We're back on this again.
I think
going back to needing a new term for this.
I think that Rodgers retires. I think that he looks at this like, I think that he wants to know what something's going to look like if he comes back. And if it was still Tomlin and if it was still Arthur Smith, I think he would be a lot more comfortable knowing what that's going to look like. I just don't know if Mike McCarthy, I don't know if there'll be the same desire. I think it's weird for like a 60-something-year-old head coach to be rebuilding the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think they probably go in that direction, and I think Rodgers is done.
Also, doesn't McCarthy and Rodgers hate each other from their Packer days?
It ended not great, but they obviously won a Super Bowl, so can't be that bad. That helps.
That is true. Logically, he's gonna retire, but my gut says he's gonna find another team. I don't know. I just have this feeling where I can't say he's gonna retire. I'm almost certain he's gonna find another team to go move on to. Cleveland Browns.
Oh my God, he wouldn't go there.
That would be such a Browns thing to do, though.
Okay, but if he's cosplaying Brett Favre, there's only one team left.
That's look out, JJ McCarthy.
And they need some help. So I'm not predicting that here. I do think he just retires, but I could see that would be hilarious. He would do that. It's insane enough that Aaron Rodgers would want to do it.
That would be incredible.
And so, yeah, I think.
And honestly, I'm kind of rooting for it just for the chaos.
It's a weird one though, right? Because I don't think it's like he's not going there to compete with JJ McCarthy. He's the starter if he goes there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's guaranteed. And Aaron Rodgers, it's a weird situation. I don't know how much the Vikings would want that, but I think he retires. Do you think if you're going to say he doesn't, are you going to say Minnesota is your prediction?
I think Browns. Browns have a top.
Oh my God.
Browns have a top 5 defense in the league.
There's no way
they
he goes
just need something to. They just need that offense figured out, and I don't think they need an incredible performance from Rodgers to be able to be a playoff team with that.
Do you think he wants to go there? Like he's dictating all of this.
I don't think at this point. I don't think he can dictate all of it. He wants to, but I think he would rather play with the Browns than not play at all.
Okay. No, I get the angle. I do get the angle. I guess I don't know. I don't know the guy.
Also, I do have a quarterback predicted to go to the Vikings, so spoiler alert.
So you can't.
So that spot's already taken.
I do too, actually. So, okay, fair. So next up, we can move to the guys who, I guess there is one other free agent because it was announced today that the Falcons are going to release Kirk Cousins. That is happening. So Kirk Cousins needs a home. I think that he can start somewhere. I think that he did look better in the year after the Achilles.
Yeah, he definitely looks better this year now, having another year removed from that injury. This is a cop-out because technically Kirk Cousins' job just already got taken by me, but I had him predicted to go to the Browns.
Oh.
The Rodgers conversation persuaded me that, you know what, the Browns are a great fit for Rodgers.
Okay, so one of those two is going to the Browns.
Yeah, or maybe they both go to the Browns because that'd also be a Browns thing to do. Let's have Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers. They still have Deshaun Watson and then Shadur Sanders all battle out, and we need Hard Knocks. Yeah.
Hard Knocks with Rodgers, Kirk, and Shadur, which would never happen, obviously. That would be absolutely insane.
Well, I think if that happens, I think the NFL would pitch in. They would give them a special salary cap bonus just to make that happen for the content.
I think my Kirk Cousins prediction is it's a fun one. I think he goes back to Minnesota.
That is fun, but do you think he'd do that?
Well, the Kevin O'Connell was not necessarily the guy that pushed him out, quote unquote. Kwesi's gone, right? They fired the GM. Him and KOC always had a really good relationship. I think that it makes a lot of sense. Kirk will accept at this point in his career that he's not going to be on a team without a backup plan. And coming in to be the starter while JJ McCarthy continues to develop in the background, I think it makes a lot of sense. It's familiar. He seems like a guy that, likes that familiarity. And the Vikings do not have a lot of money. The Vikings, I think, are 32nd in cap space. Like, they're like negative 40 million. Obviously, restructures and whatever else can happen. I just don't know if they can afford to pay somebody a lot of money. I'm now realizing that I completely forgot to put Mac Jones on this list, who I think will be traded, but we can ignore that for now. But I think Minnesota's a destination for him too, potentially. But yeah, I think Kirk goes back to Minnie. And I think that that'll be the Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson owners rejoice. There's hope once again. And yeah,
man, Minnesota has no money.
They're like negative 40 million or something.
48 million over the cap.
Yeah.
And granted, like the cap is expanding by 20 million this year. So
and restructures are like you can restructure to the moon,
Yeah,
like
the cap space isn't real. It's all manipulated. So they will be able to get a quarterback, especially for Cousins' price on the books. It'll be so awkward in that locker room, though, where you get replaced by JJ McCarthy, who's coming in. You go to the Falcons. He has to deal with the Penix thing there. And then he's going back to the Vikings to take his job back from JJ McCarthy.
It's a funny full circle moment.
Such a strange
with Sam
situation to happen.
Sam Darnold, in between there.
Yeah.
But next up, this is a guy who is not. We're now into the non-free agents, two of them, starting with Tua
of them.
Starting with Tua Tagovailoa. He is owed so much money. The reports are that Miami would love somebody to give them draft compensation for Tua. It's not going to happen. Nobody's paying a draft pick. This could be a Brock Osweiler if he does move on.
Yeah.
Right? Where I was looking at this trade yesterday. It was the Texans sent a 2nd round pick and a 6th round pick with Brock Osweiler, and they got a 4th back.
Yep. They basically,
big price tag.
Essentially, they're buying draft capital for cap space.
Exactly. A 2nd round pick is insane. Brutal. Like, that is such a, like, if they have to do that, this is why my prediction for Tua is that he stays in Miami. I think that maybe they draft maybe that this is a Ty Simpson team. Maybe this is a Garrett Nussmeier team where they take a shot on a rookie to compete with him. Obviously, Quinn Ewers is there. I just think that they're not going to be able to get out of this. And I don't think they're going to want to pay to get out of it.
My prediction is, the Dolphins GM already stated that they're either drafting a quarterback this offseason or bringing in a free agent option.
100%.
It seems like there's no shot Tua as their starter next year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to trade him.
At least guaranteed starter. At least guaranteed, yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to trade him. I think they will release him and just eat the dead cap.
Wow, yeah.
So,
like Russell Wilson type deal?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so my prediction, which is where it gets kind of fun, is I think the Vikings sign him to give JJ McCarthy some competition.
But they don't have to pay for it.
I think.
Oh, God. Can you imagine a more disgusting quarterback room than Tua and JJ McCarthy?
I think Tua's going to a perfect fit for O'Connell's system. Like, if he's trying to rehabilitate a quarterback, he needs a quarterback that can excel in rhythm passing and pre-snap reads. And I think Tua's great for that. So if anything, I would be excited as a Tua owner if he goes to the Vikings because it fits his skill set kind of perfectly. It's not the prettiest, but that system will be great for him.
It is the system you want him in. Dude, maybe if he gets released, maybe the 49ers trade Mac Jones and they sign Tua to be the backup.
The 49ers are just this quarterback, backup quarterback factory. I mean, it's great for
and they signed him to a 2-year deal.
Draft capital.
And they signed him to a 2-year deal, and next offseason they trade him for a 3rd round pick.
Yeah. They just keep churning it.
So I'm saying staying in Miami. You are saying released and ending up in Minnesota, which is fun. And then we are on to Kyler Murray, who
we have sort of.
I have flip-flopped a ton on like what I think is going to happen with Kyler. When he was getting shadow benched, which he wasn't. He was
soft benching per
soft
sleeper.
benching per sleeper. Yeah, exactly. When that was happening, I was like, this guy's done. He's gone. There's no way he's back in Arizona. Then I looked into the money when the season ended, and I was like, they're going to pay. Like, Kyler Murray is too talented to pay somebody else, to pay him $40 million to play for another team. Or to cut him. Like, that would be insane to me. And now it seems like that's what's going to happen. They're rumored with Malik Willis. They're rumored with drafting Ty Simpson. It seems like Kyler's going to be gone. And I don't know if I would like the idea of this, but I am predicting that Kyler Murray, via trade or cut and then whatever, I think he's going to end up in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is kind of fun. My prediction is, well, the Cards have been very outspoken about that. Like, they want to move this guy. They don't want to. They don't want this guy on their roster for next year.
It's grown too sour. Like, the relationship is toast. They need to just move on.
Absolutely. My prediction is that he goes to a team who just does not learn and has a history of not learning, and he's going to the Jets as Justin Fields 2.0.
There's no way. Oh my God.
It's the most Jets thing possible to do, would it not be? Like, that's 100%. That's what the Jets would do.
I might cry live on the pod.
Would you hate that? As like, you've bought a lot of Kyler Murray recently.
I would despise that. I would hate that so much. Because this is the thing. So I wrote down all my quarterback predictions, and then underneath I was like, okay, which teams did I not really fill in? Okay, and I put the Cardinals. I was like, I didn't give the Cardinals a quarterback, and I had Kyler leaving, and I put Joe Flacco / Ty Simpson. I was like, this is what I think is going to happen there. Then I put the Jets, and I was like, don't care, will be bad. So I just don't want any part of this. I don't want any part of this offense. I don't want any part of this team. And Kyler Murray being there would absolutely terrify me. The offensive line's good. Maybe they figure something out. Who's the offensive coordinator? Frank Reich? Dude, get me out of it. I don't want Kyler in green. Put him in Pittsburgh. Give him Mike McCarthy. I think that something could happen there. I could see Kyler, running around in the backfield in his little black jersey. I
actually really like Frank Reich as a offensive coordinator. I think he's going to be better as an OC than a head coach.
Potentially, yeah.
But yeah, I think poor Garrett Wilson is what this comes down to.
That would suck for Garrett Wilson too. Exactly.
Can you imagine? Like, this dude just can't get a break.
Here is Doomsday Jets offseason. Okay, they signed Kyler Murray, right? They franchise tagged Breece Hall and then signed him to like a 3-year extension, so he's stuck there. They have Garrett Wilson and they draft Mekhi Lemon at 16 overall. That's Doomsday. Everybody sucks.
Dude, that should be nobody's going to be good alone, because that's 100% what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, as a guy who's his team has been in the division with the Jets for so long. That is the most Jets offseason possible.
Disgusting. I feel like I need to go shower after that. So those are the quarterbacks.
On to running backs.
On to the running backs.
Scoot a little bit, I think.
Yeah, we do have to scoot a little bit. This pod could be 3 hours, literally. Like, we could.
But also that's like every episode.
That is every episode. We can ramble forever.
People don't understand how much we have to cut down on our football rambles.
Yeah, it's just every episode we end up we speed up how fast we're talking in the last 30 minutes to fit in as much information as possible.
Yeah, we need to do like a Patreon where we do a bonus episode with all of our random takes afterwards.
Ken Walker, or actually really quick, Javonte Williams signed an extension since our last pod. He got a little less money than I thought he would, but I think that this is best case scenario for him staying in Dallas with the long-ish term commitment. He was good last year, 15 points per game. That makes me happy for my Javonte shares.
Absolutely.
But Ken Walker is the first guy. There's been talk about the tag, maybe a transition tag. I think that they said they don't want to tag him, which makes me think that maybe a extension is coming. I can't see them letting the Super Bowl MVP hit the open market. My prediction is that he's back in Seattle.
My prediction is that also. It's not the most fun. We were all hoping for
but I don't hate it either.
KW goes to the Chiefs, maybe goes to the Broncos.
Yeah. I don't hate it either because Zach Charbonnet hurt. Zach Charbonnet's not gonna be back. He just had surgery. I saw a fantasy doc say like best case scenario he's back week 12.
Yeah.
I'm like,
there's
okay,
no threat that he cuts into his production next year.
No, there isn't. So the only fear is that if they're signing Ken Walker to big money, the only fear is that they do what they did with Ken Walker in 2023, where they drafted Zach Charbonnet. That's the only fear, where they draft a guy on day 2. But I think that they've seen this guy win them the Super Bowl, and they are happy to commit to him, James Cook-esque, where they commit to this guy and all of a sudden, bang, he's the guy. He's getting 100 more carries than he did the previous year.
God, how annoying would that be if they draft Jonah Coleman in the second round?
Yeah, no, I genuinely don't think they will, because I think James Cook is a really good comparison here, where he had about 200 carries 2 straight years. I'm trying to pull this up quickly. He had 200 carries, 237 carries in 2023, 207 carries in 2024. About 1,000 yards in each season. They signed him last year in training camp. Bang, 309 carries.
Yeah.
So you're paying the guy. Use him.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Kenneth Walker, he has fairly fresh legs. He doesn't have a ton of seasons with 300 plus touches. So I could easily see them signing him, and there would be like, here's the keys. The offense is all yours. Go crush it. So
the financial commitment there means a good amount to me, more than a potential different landing spot.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there. I'm perfectly happy with Kenneth Walker back in Seattle. Breece Hall. I'll
talk about a guy who also has pretty fresh legs. He's only had 1 season over 300 touches, and dude, he's going back to the Jets, and we all know it.
He just is.
I'm still hoping like all of Aaron Glenn's comments about, we've got 3 running back ones on our team. All those comments about just being disrespected. I still hope that like it's just somewhere in Breece's mind, and he tries to figure out a way to go to free agency. But like, there he threatened to tag him if he doesn't sign an extension. So I feel like he's just stuck there.
Yeah, like I don't think that this could be a transition tag where they trade him, I guess. But with all these free agent options, is a team going to trade draft capital for Breece Hall to then also have to pay him?
No, because they had that option this past offseason.
Yeah,
during the season when they were trying to trade him before the trade deadline.
Maybe like the Chiefs would fork over a 4th or a 5th round pick if that's all the Jets are asking at this point. But yeah, I think that my prediction is same as you. I think he stays in New York, and I think that maybe there's a little bit of a bump with a contract, right? Like if he does sign like a 3-year extension, maybe it's a similar thing with Ken Walker and James Cook, where okay, they're going to give him more of the keys. But yeah, like I just have no faith that this offense is going to be any good, and the running back needs a good, like Breece Hall cannot overcome that and be this top 12 guy if the Jets are a bottom 5 offense in the league. He just won't be able to do it.
Yeah, I agree, because he hasn't.
Exactly.
There's no track record of him doing that over 4 years. So
he had the one season with the crazy reception totals.
Yeah, before the ACL injury,
he was the RB2 overall. But no, that was the year coming off the ACL. He was the RB2 overall because he tore his ACL as a rookie, and then he was the RB2 overall as a second-year player, but he only had 990 rushing yards. He had 76 receptions. So, yeah, I hate this. I have no Breece, and I'm fine to have no Breece. I'm much lower than market on him. I think that a lot of people there's this dream that he's going to go to the Chiefs, and it's just slowly dwindling away, and we're realizing, no, he's still going to be a Jet.
I bought into the dream. I've got Breece in a few spots, and even if he's with the Jets, it's not horrible. He's still a good player, but it's the what could have been, which gets us.
And maybe you're hoping, if you do have Breece Hall, you're looking to 2027, where they probably have a really high pick again. They have 3 first-round picks, so they definitely get a quarterback in the 2027 class. Aaron Glenn hopefully fired, and then you can, hope for good things after 2026. Next up, a guy who seemingly is more and more likely to hit the market, after we thought that it made all the sense in the world for his team to re-sign him, and it's Travis Etienne, who, it's like I said, it's coming out more and more likely that he's going to be an option for teams to sign. Tags, I want to hear your thoughts on this, what you think is going to happen with Etienne before I share mine.
He's coming off of his second most productive season of his career. I think he's a perfect fit in Cohen's system. Cohen is really able to optimize his skill set, and he's also T-Law's buddy going all the way back to the Clemson days. So my prediction is that he does re-sign with the Jags.
Wow, okay.
And leaving Bashaw Tootin owners in shambles. I just even with the talk coming out, I think he's just such a perfect fit for Cohen's system there, and he's hard to replace.
I went a little different. I'm leaning into the rumors of him being on the open market, and I think that Travis Etienne is going to end up a Denver Bronco.
That is fun.
Crushing RJ Harvey hopes, which I would love to do because I hate the guy.
Personally,
respectfully.
on a personal level.
No, I don't like him at all. Too old.
He's
too old for me. I'm on my Leonardo DiCaprio arc. I think that Sean Payton would love this type of player. 3-down guy, can use him out of the backfield. I think that maybe he wants somebody a little more dynamic instead of the J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey combo, right? Where Harvey isn't really out there on the early downs, but Dobbins isn't. Dobbins is like the Honda Civic that you talk about, right? Where he can get you 4 yards every play, but he's not going to get you much more than that. He was averaging 10 points per game this year, and just not really exciting. I think Travis Etienne could do a lot more than that in this offense. This would really excite me for the next few years with Travis Etienne if he ended up on a really good offense like this. Re-signing in Jacksonville is good too, because we've seen what that usage looks like.
God, that Broncos offensive line, though, is a monster.
It's unreal.
That would be so fun to put ETN behind that offensive line.
And I think that there's more to be maximized here. And so a lot of people are talking about they're just going to bring Dobbins back. And that just doesn't excite me for their running game, right? I think that the ceiling is, we've said this before, the offensive line sets the floor for your running game. So they'll be fine with Dobbins and Harvey, but the running back sets the ceiling. And Travis Etienne could do insane things in this offense.
I mean, Dobbins was good, though, when he was with
fine.
an offense.
He was perfectly adequate. But if you look at the numbers, he did not, he was not some great fantasy asset.
Yeah, he
averaged 11.
He was missing the touchdowns and missing the receiving workload, which does cap his upside. But his yards per carry is he averages 5 yards per carry over the course of his entire career. So he's a great runner. But for fantasy, it does suck because it caps his upside, having 0 receiving workload.
I had him in the Flock League, and it was literally if he scores a touchdown, he'll be good. And he scored a touchdown in 4 of the first 5 weeks. He was above 10 points in all of the weeks. Then the next 5, before he got hurt, he didn't score a single touchdown, and he scored 10 points once.
Yeah.
It's
it's so weird, though, because he gets the yardage every game.
Yeah.
Every game is receiving. 70 to 110 rushing yards. Mm-hmm. It's always in between there.
0 receiving work, and like I said, you're so reliant on the touchdown.
Yeah.
It's just not very exciting, and Travis Etienne would absolutely be able to offer you more than that. Moving over, let's go to Rico Dowdle, who, crazily enough, back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
To be fair, he got half of that in 2 games.
He did get half of that in 2 games. But he's running at back-to-back seasons where he has, it's actually crazy how identical these 2 years are. 2024, 235 carries, 1,079 rushing yards. 2025, he had 1 extra carry, 236, and he had 3 less rushing yards, 1,076.
That's wild.
So this is a what you see is what you get kind of guy. Where do you have him going?
So he's expressed interest in wanting to be a team's primary back. He obviously set the season on fire, going 206 yards and a touchdown against the Dolphins. against their very stout defense. That's sarcasm.
Dude,
And
terrible.
then went for 183 yards rushing, 4 receptions for 56 yards against the Cowboys in the good old revenge game. So he shows the ability to be a workhorse. He can get 25 plus touches a game. My prediction is Broncos getting their Dobbins 2.0.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
And
I like that a lot.
I think he's a great complement to what Harvey is able to provide in that offense as well.
If they choose to move off of JK for whatever reason, Dowdle makes a ton of sense as a similar archetype. This is funny because we're going right back to me as well, going right back to the guys we just talked about. I think that Rico Dowdle is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Oh, that's fun. We're just swapping spots.
Travis Etienne moving on.
They're passing each other on the flight.
Rico Dowdle going from Carolina to Jacksonville to be that sort of 1A with Bashal Tutin's role growing a little bit. I think that if they choose not to pay ETN, they're not going to pay another back very much money. And so Rico Dowdle's not going to cost nearly as much. And I think that that would be a fun one, him ending up in Jacksonville. Rachaad White is next, who not as interesting of a name, but he has had, he's a good PPR option at the very least. He had that, RB6 overall season? RB4 overall season in 2023, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't even have 1,000 yards.
Probably averaging 2.3 yards per carry that whole season too.
Likely. Yeah, insanely inefficient his entire career. Where do you think Rachaad White ends up?
So I'm looking at a team that needs a complementary pass catching running back to complement their more of a powerhouse running back. So I have him going to the Cowboys to complement Javonte Williams.
Oh.
And I think
that is interesting.
And I think a team that needs depth at that running back spot. I don't think Malik Davis is it. I don't think Javonte Blue or
Jaden
Blue is really an answer there for their RB2 spot.
I like it. I wouldn't be excited about it for Rachaad White, but it makes a lot of sense. I have him staying in division, a team that's seen him twice a year so far. I have him going to the Saints. I think that there's obviously opportunity here. He kind of is like
Kamara, a little bit of the
Kamara
pass catching role.
He's kind of like Kamara, and I think Kamara aging out a little bit. I don't know.
I'll say, what would that mean for Kamara's role? Yeah,
I don't know what his 2026 looks like. He obviously seemed pretty done athletically this past year.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens there, but I think that this could make sense as a Kamara replacement if he does happen to, whether it's retired or...
I think it makes sense if he retires. If he doesn't, then you just have 2 running backs who can't run between the tackles. Like, you need a guy who can get 2.5 yards per carry. Kamara's
That's what Devin Neal is for.
Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know, if Kamara's still there and doesn't retire,
maybe not.
I'm not seeing it. But if Kamara retires, then yeah, that's a perfect fit for him.
Tyler Algier.
God,
is next.
Probably, I mean, outside of Brees and KW3, this is my favorite running back of the free agents. One of the best.
More than Etienne?
I see them comparable, honestly.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I think the ceiling's high. He had 1,000 yards as a rookie.
Yeah, one of the best free agent running backs available, rushed for over 1,000 yards as a rookie. He has over 500 carries with no fumbles.
Yeah, I saw that. It's an NFL record, I think.
This dude does not fumble the ball. And you know who's going to absolutely love that is Andy Reid. My prediction is he goes to the Chiefs, gives them a more elusive and athletic and physical Pacheco. And over his 4 NFL season, Algier has earned a 90 PFF rushing grade on zone concepts. He's the 8th highest mark among qualifying running backs. And guess who runs a lot of zone concepts? The Chiefs have called the 7th most zone runs over the past 3 seasons. And Algier is just like a perfect fit for the Chiefs. So that's my prediction, and I will absolutely love it if he goes there. which means I probably need to buy him right now.
Makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I think the Chiefs might just, say we've been rolling with Pacheco and Hunt the past few years and it's been fine. Maybe they should be targeting a bigger option. Obviously, Travis Etienne has been rumored to being interested in the Chiefs. How much of that is just the agents blowing smoke? But I have Tyler Algier going to another team that does need this sort of bruising first and second down running back. They have a second-year pass catcher who looked decent in his role, but I am choosing the Houston Texans for Tyler Algier.
I do like
Complementing Woody Marks really well. They need to improve this run game.
Assuming Joe Mixon is toast.
Yeah. I mean, there's a quote that came out today that they were like, I think he had surgery this offseason. They aren't even talking to the guy.
That's
like this is not...
Like, how's the team not know if he had surgery or not?
It's very much
also
kind of just... Yeah.
What?
Very
no
weird.
one knows what his injury was. They never reported it. He was just like a freak foot injury that was like never reported on. No one has any info what this injury was. It was just like such a weird, bizarre thing where he's just like, well, I guess I'm not playing this year.
Yeah, crazy. And I think
yeah.
Tyler Algier could take his role pretty well and do pretty good things in it.
He'd be great there because Texans also run a lot of zone scheme.
Mm-hmm. J.K. Dobbins, who we've talked about a little bit.
One final thing: if the Chiefs, I don't think everyone loves to mock Jeremiah Love to the Chiefs.
Of course.
I'm growing more and more to the fact that I don't think they take him. I think they fill the need in free agency because there's too many good. Caleb Downs could be available at 9. There's a lot of great edge rushers available that could be there at 9. There's a lot of good linebackers that could be there at 9. There's so many good, valuable positions that
they could use a wide receiver too.
Oh, absolutely. Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
I think running back needs to take a backseat to those positions. So I'm more on the fact that like I'm leaning further and further away that I don't think Love is going to go to the Chiefs. As much fun as it would be for everybody, I think there's plenty of people they can get in free agency that would fill that role and leave the more valuable, harder to fill positions to the draft.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. They don't need to do this. The running game can be good with a Tyler Algier as the lead, right? It doesn't need to be. We've seen that with Kareem Hunt. But J.K. Dobbins, I have him going to the Chiefs. I have them filling the need with him, sort of just getting 2 years younger by getting Kareem Hunt, but he's 27.
I have him going to the Steelers to play a complimentary role.
Oh my God.
I've got Gainwell leaving, which I'm sure we'll get to. I think he's going to go Steelers, play a complimentary role to Jaylen Warren.
Caleb Johnson is just toast, eh?
I think so. I mean, there's no inclination that he's not. We don't know how the new coaching staff feels about him. Obviously, that helps him because it couldn't get worse than what Tomlin feels about him.
I feel like it was a Rodgers
still wakes
thing.
up at 4 a.m. in the morning in a cold sweat.
There was obviously
Caleb Johnson.
There was obviously the muffed kickoff return.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot of like Rodgers just not trusting him. Yeah. And he trusted Gainwell and he trusted Warren. And if Rodgers doesn't trust you, you're not getting on the field. That's why they signed MVS, right? Like he's not good, but Rodgers trusts him. So yeah, that I would hate that for everybody involved.
I also don't think that like if Dobbins signs with the Steelers, I don't think that means Caleb is toast. I think it means like I still think Caleb could overtake his Dobbins.
Yeah,
job.
Coming off an injury as well, I don't think Dobbins gets a ton of money. So
yeah, I mean it's at least not an Achilles injury this time. It's a Liz Frank, which is easier to come back from. But yeah, I just think Steelers want a running back to play a complimentary role to Jaylen Warren. I think they had Gainwell in that pass catching role, and I think Warren is best used in the pass catching role. So it's probably not optimizing his skill set to put him as the first and second down guy. So Dobbins makes a lot of sense to bring him in, take over that role. And if Caleb outplays him, cool. Dobbins is not going to be incredibly expensive.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kenny Gainwell is the last one that really quickly. I think he could go back to the Eagles and be a third down guy for them.
I like it, and the Eagles could use him because
Returning to Philadelphia.
He was phenomenal in the pass catching role.
Exactly.
Yeah, coming off of his best season, he went for 537 and 5 touchdowns on the ground, 73 receptions for 486 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's more than DK Metcalf, right? I'm pretty sure.
Dude, it's got to be. But I
think he had more receptions than DK Metcalf.
I bought him for a 3rd-round pick in most of my leagues last year. And this dude,
he's really good.
I put him in the flex almost every week, and I was always happy with what he gave me. He was essentially the Steelers' #1 wide receiver target.
Yeah.
I have him going to the Seattle Seahawks to replace Charbonnet's production.
Give them a little bit of a third down option.
Change of pace, get a little bit more pass catching, offensive weapon compared to KW3 in the offense, and gives KW a rest after putting the team on his back.
Moving over to the wide receiver position. There's one big name, and then we don't have to talk a ton about really anybody else, but we can give quick predictions. I guess there are 2 trade candidates, but starting with George Pickens. This is do you think he's back in Dallas, or do you think he's somewhere else?
I mean, it seems like they're all in on franchise tagging him.
It does. I think I'm gonna have a little bit of fun here. I do think he probably gets tagged. I think he can get traded after he gets tagged.
A little tag and trade? We don't see that much in the NFL. We see it a lot in the NBA.
Yeah.
But not so much in the NFL. That'd be fun. Where is he traded to?
I think there's a certain team with a ton of cap space. They need a wide receiver. They don't really have one right now at all. And this is kind of like, I've been worried that Pickens goes somewhere that I hate, and I would not like this. And I don't think this is a fun prediction. I'm having a bit of fun. Let me have fun. The Las Vegas Raiders. Ton of cap space. They can afford a big contract. They need a wide receiver 1, rookie quarterback coming in. I think that this would make a lot of sense for both teams. Who knows? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe Max Crosby's going the other way. Right? Dallas, in a bit of a win now window, could use an edge pass rusher after trading Micah Parsons. Is that something that makes sense? I think maybe I'm big brain in this. I just think that I wanted to do this on the show because I think that it is more likely than people are giving it credit for that Pickens is not a Cowboy in 2026.
Yeah. Near the end of the season last year, some things were starting to unravel in the locker room. Seems like some of Pickens' attitude concerns were popping up. A lot of concerns about his effort and playing through the whistle. So that's a super fun scenario. I think he's just going to get tagged by the Cowboys. They can tag him for $28 million. And they're expected, if he does get signed to a new deal, it's expected to be in the 30 to 35 million range per year. Mm-hmm. So they could actually save some money by tagging him.
But he's not. Is he going to play on the tag?
He might. If he has
Players
no other
don't
choice,
normally do that.
Are they going to sit? Is he going to sit out the year and lose that money?
I don't know. I think he might. Like the T. Higgins did something similar, right? Like he was sitting until he got signed. We've seen it before. George Pickens is not like I can't imagine he's the easiest guy to deal with. I would just worry that this goes south and then Jerry Jones, nobody is untradeable to Jerry Jones. This guy traded Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
So that was my fun one for the day. Alec Pierce.
You only get one fun deal.
Yeah, one fun
per
one
podcast.
It was Breece Hall or George Pickens, and I went Pickens. Alec Pierce seems to be the number one for sure free agent option, which is kind of gross. I'm not a big Alec Pierce fan. I've also seen that Matt Harmon was talking about this. There are rumors that they could release Michael Pittman in order to keep Alec Pierce.
Wow.
Which would be wild.
That would be wild.
I don't have that happening. I have Alec Pierce very sadly, and I would not like this, going to my Tennessee Titans.
I almost put that as my prediction because it kind of makes too much sense. He's coming off his best season yet. 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns. And he's currently in active extension talks with the Colts. They're expecting him to be around $20 million a year if he gets a deal. Franchise tag would cost $25 million. I don't think he's going to get franchise tagged. I think he resigns with the Colts.
Okay.
In
that case, maybe Pittman does get released, and Pittman ends up
he could. I just even think about Pittman getting released. So
it's purely a money thing, I think, in that situation.
Yeah, but the Colts I'm pretty sure they have quite a bit of cap space.
But if you're also signing Daniel Jones,
Colts are right in the middle. So they have 33 effective cap space. They have 33.7 mil. Plus, they're getting the 20 million added on with the cap space expanding. So I think they'll be fine. They'll be able to re-sign Daniel Jones. They'll be able to sign Alec Pierce.
They should be able to keep everybody. But
I think he's going to stay.
There's a chance. Mike Evans. I just have him going back to the Bucs.
I have the Patriots signing him.
No way.
Can you imagine?
Really? You think he leaves?
Our offense is going to be Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte. Dude, Mike Evans and Kayshon Boutte on the outsides, Diggs in the slot, Kyle Williams hopefully mixing in. He does
the reverse. He does the reverse Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think 100%.
I think it's funny. I just don't think he leaves Tampa. I don't see why. They probably they'd be happy to have him back.
It seems like he was like, I'm done with Tampa. I want to go somewhere else.
He said he wants to play in 2026. Shocking. He's going to consider his free agent options. Which of course he's going to consider it.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to be a lifelong Buck and retire a Buck. It's something that's kind of rare nowadays, and I think it'd be really cool if he does it.
All of the Bucks beat reporters seem to think that he's back, but I don't know. Who knows? I don't think it matters a ton either way.
As soon as he declared that he was testing free agency, the Patriots blew up his phone. They have not stopped calling him. So I think I like it, and I feel like Mike Evans probably thinks the Patriots are closer to a Super Bowl than the Bucks.
At least in 2026, maybe. Yeah. There's 5 more names here. We can just rapid fire these guys because I think there's a longer, more interesting conversation to have with the trade candidates.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings, where do you think he goes?
Resigns with 49ers.
Okay. I have Jawan Jennings as a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Interesting. I think 49ers, they've got Ayuk leaving. Pearsall hasn't panned out. They could add a weapon in the draft, but I don't think adding, Casey Concepcion at the end of the first is enough to really be what their offense needs. So it makes too much sense to have Jennings come back to him.
Rashid Shaheed.
Shaheed, I have re-signing with the Seahawks. Even with
me as well.
Even with the minimal role, the team traded for him. They had an idea and a goal for him. Averaged almost 30 yards per return on kickoffs, 16.2 per punt return with 2 touchdowns. He's a valuable weapon on the offense to stretch the zone for JSN, plus special teams. And it just makes too much sense, especially considering they traded for him.
Completely in lockstep with you there. Romeo Doubs.
Steelers.
Steelers, okay. I think this one's more interesting. I do think that he has a chance to be what we think Alec Pierce is going to be this free agency cycle. He's been good as a big X wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers.
So consistent. 724 receiving, 601, 674. He's a great wide receiver too for a team.
I have him going to the Ravens. So we're both in the AFC North there, opportunities on those teams. I don't think it's insanely exciting, especially in the Ravens passing
trust
offense.
in Bateman.
I mean, he kind of does the same thing. And so I think you got your 2 X wide receivers there, your 2 guys on the outside, and then you have Zay Flowers operating as more of a slot. Wandale.
You know where he's going.
What do you have? Wandale's going...
He's going Titans.
Reunites
with Dable, who was able to get his most productive season out of him.
Yeah, let me do cartwheels when Wandale Robinson signs with the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans need a slot weapon and just weapons in general. I feel like it just makes...
Is Wandale Robinson a weapon?
Yeah. Did he not finish? Didn't he finish as like a wide receiver 1 this year?
Okay, dude. Freaking Zay Flowers was the wide receiver 7, and he was ass. Wide receiver 1 doesn't mean anything to me this year, honestly. He was the 14 overall, and he averaged 13 points per game.
I like Wandale a lot as almost more as an NFL player than a fantasy player, to be fair. I think he does a lot to be a consistent target that gets open. He gets a lot of separation quick. He's so quick and shifty. He's just a tiny little lightning bug out there.
I have him being a tiny little lightning bug on the Atlanta Falcons.
I like that a lot, actually.
Who need a wide receiver 2. Darnell Mooney didn't really do anything this past year. Kevin Stefanski coming in. I think that he makes a lot of sense as an underneath target with Drake London being on the outside.
That would be great for the Falcons.
And the final one here is Deebo Samuel. Where do you think he goes?
I've got him joining the Bills.
We finally have one.
No way. Let's go.
Deebo to Buffalo. Yeah, no, I think in an offense where it's built so much about after the catch stuff, like Khalil Shakir has been the guy in this offense, right? And I think that my dream is KC to this team. Like, I would love KC Concepcion to go to the Bills, but Deebo Samuel in free agency, I think it does make a lot of sense.
Dude, it would unlock
they've signed
a lot of fun, and it unlocks some more creativity into their offenses, which is what they desperately need. Being able to run some like read options with Deebo doing sweeps across would be a lot of fun.
I completely agree. Yeah, I'm there with you on that. Getting into the 2 trade candidates, AJ Brown and Brian Thomas Jr. I'm of the opinion AJ Brown is a lot more likely to get dealt than Brian Thomas is.
Yes,
just the fact that Brian Thomas is on the rookie contract. The Jags don't have a lot of... the only reason the Jags move him is if they're not going to use him, I think. And I think that they should want to use him. I would like him to get traded. I've been buying him everywhere. I would be excited if he did get moved. But I think Brian Thomas does. My prediction would be that he stays in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't think Brian Thomas gets moved personally.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, it's hard to say, like, I think he gets traded. Like, that's a hard thing to pin. I think he's most likely to get traded. Just because, like, dude, every single year, like, they have to be tired of it in Philadelphia. Every single year, you get the complaining. You get the unhappy about his role in the offense, unhappy about the volume he's getting, unhappy about his production, even though they're winning. And that has to be so tiring of a team to deal with. It's like, dude, we're winning games. Why do you have a bad attitude and like souring the locker room? Like, you can't just be happy that we're winning. Like, it's working.
No, he can't, because he needs to be a part. He needs to be a big part of the winning.
I feel like it has to be like, we're winning because of me kind of attitude.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know AJ Brown. I can't say this personally, but I feel like from a locker room perspective and from a team's perspective, that has to be draining. And
I genuinely think
they just want to move on by now because he's just not going to be happy no matter what.
I think the relationship has probably reached a boiling point, and they did it. They won the Super Bowl, and that kind of, put a Band-Aid over everything. And then this year it was really bad. Like, you got clips where him and Sirianni are screaming at each other on the sideline. I just think it's over. And I think that he reunites with the coach who drafted him.
Let's go.
I think AJ Brown. I think the New England Patriots are a team that needs. They want to take advantage of this rookie contract of their elite quarterback. They should absolutely be immediately in a win now window after making the Super Bowl. And AJ Brown is the asset to do that with. Big number 1 wide receiver. He's still really good. He is still very, very good. And
all right, so our receiving room is AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs.
If we combine the world,
Kayshon Boutte.
But I do not think that Mike Evans is there. But no, I think AJ Brown makes a ton of sense here. If he were to get traded, where do you have him going?
It's annoying because I have the same for like if Brian Thomas Jr. gets traded. I think it's the Pats because they're obviously the team that has that is most willing to move capital for a wide receiver because it's the most glaring need outside of maybe
Bills,
offensive tackle. But I don't think it's going to be tough to fix our offensive line with the 31st pick. I think I think we're probably most likely to trade for that wide receiver.
yeah, the Bills are a team that's been talked about in the trade rumors as well from BTJ. And I feel like Brandon Beane is just too stubborn.
And you
He's
talk
like, oh, you want me to get a big wide receiver? No, too bad. I'm not going to do
a
it.
wide receiver who demands volume going to the Bills. He's not going to get volume there either. They're the Eagles 2.0.
Yeah. Except their quarterback's at least, a little bit better. But yeah, so AJ Brown Patriots, I think it's probably the most obvious option,
Yeah.
but it makes a ton of sense, and that's why it's the most obvious
so
option.
much sense.
Moving over to the tight end position to close it out here. We can start with Kyle Pitts quickly. It was announced that he will be franchise tagged. For me, that makes it seem like that's most likely that he's back in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's so funny to me. I know I already told you this, but like
Yeah.
passing on the 5th-year option and then he balls out and then they're like, crap, now we got to franchise tag him because we can't let him go because he's actually good. And
Yeah.
it cracks me up because they could have saved so much money if they just took his 5th-year option. So
Absolutely.
I think he's gonna be back in Atlanta. I don't think he's moving.
And how do you feel about that as a Kyle Pitts truther?
I'm fine about it because they unlocked him this year. His production was pretty good. He was a usable asset more times than not. I'd rather him go to the Chiefs if Kelsey retires,
Yeah, of course.
but I don't think it's a bad thing if he goes back to the Falcons because they're familiar with him. They finally seems like they figured out how to use him, and he had one of his best seasons to date outside of his rookie season.
Tags, I'm going to give you a little split here. Obviously, I've waxed poetic about the 45-point bomb, which was 23% of his total fantasy points on the season. 23% in games with Drake London. Okay, because Drake London obviously missed some time this year, right? Games with Drake London in the lineup. Kyle Pitts averages 9.6 points per game. Tight end 18 over that span. Under 10 points per game, 6 targets, 4 receptions for about 40 yards. Without Drake London in the lineup, okay? 19 points per game in 5 games without Drake London. 9 targets, 7 receptions for 85 yards. It kind of seemed like Drake London's out of the lineup. Okay, all of a sudden Kyle Pitts is in the Drake London role, which, he's got 40 pounds on him, but they're about the same height. Like, this is a similar, build type of player. It seemed like Kyle Pitts all of a sudden is just playing the Drake London role with London out of the lineup. And I know you're going to be obviously more in on him than I am. This just scares me. Like, Kevin Stefanski coming in, it's exciting a little bit. He got great things out of David Njoku when Jameis was slinging it. Is the passing volume going to be there enough for this to be a relevant fantasy tight end? And is he even going to be utilized? Because with Drake London in the lineup last year, that just wasn't the case.
That's a good point. And the more I'm thinking about it, maybe it is a negative that he goes back to the Falcons. Because that is there's a lot of target hogs in that offense between Bijan and London alone.
Yeah, there's Bijan as well. Yeah. Like, I would be really excited if he went to if he got a bag for a team. Because it's like, okay, the Chiefs are paying him. They want to use him. The Falcons retaining him, maybe a big contract helps.
Dude,
I think it does help a little bit.
Put Pitts on the Commanders to replace Ertz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if anyone can make Pitts productive, even with other players on the team, I think it is Stefanski, though. Stefanski is great with tight ends.
Yeah, I completely agree. He obviously had the Harold Fannin vision. I mentioned David Njoku. We can go to a David Njoku quickly because he is a free agent, and I think that he is due for a bounce back. I still think this is a very good player. He's 30 years old, and I have him maybe ruining some dreams. I have him going to the Los Angeles Chargers.
No, how dare
This
you?
doesn't kill. This
Come
doesn't
on.
kill. This doesn't. You could have predicted this. This doesn't kill Aronde Gadsden because Aronde Gadsden is still that big slot. David Njoku can play on the line of scrimmage. He can block for you.
Yeah.
This probably just means more 12 personnel. You don't have Will Dissly on the field. David Njoku is that on the line of scrimmage, blocking and receiving tight end. Aronde Gadsden can just rotate in as that big slot. I just think this is a good fit. Mike McDaniel loves his tight ends, and I think that this makes a ton of sense.
Do you think, side question, do you think Kelsey retires?
I do.
Okay, because the Chiefs are the obvious big need for tight end if that happens. I also think Kelsey is retiring. And I have Njoku going to the Chiefs. So in my world, they get Tyler Algier running back, they get Njoku tight end. Their offense immediately gets so much more physical and more explosive.
Oh, and Carnell Tate on the outside, picking him at 9 overall.
Absolutely.
Oh, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Whew.
So I think Njoku is probably the best tight end on the market, especially if Pitts gets franchise tag, which it seems like he will. So I think he's going to garner the most demand. He's going to garner the most attention. And I think the Chiefs are going to be all over that if Kelsey is gone. So, and honestly, like I'm probably going to be buying Njoku, see how cheap I can get him. Cause I feel like I could get him for like a late second right now. Right.
Oh, I think so for sure.
And I'm going to be jumping all over that. So I'm probably going to be buying Njoku in as many leagues as I can because I think he's going to get a good spot and a good opportunity in free agency.
Isaiah Likely, done his rookie deal with the Ravens. They gave Mark Andrews an extension. He's hitting free agency. I think there's a lot of excitement here. I don't know if I'm super stoked. He's shown flashes, obviously, but nothing really sustained. And I predict he lands with the Miami Dolphins, which not super exciting. It's just this team is a team that needs a tight end, but there is an opportunity here to be a number 2 weapon on that offense, right?
Yeah, it's tough because Andrews signing the extension. The Ravens have nonstop talked about we want Likely back. We want to bring him back, which would be the most unfun thing possible this offseason, which is probably going to happen.
Don't do that.
But
please don't do that.
for the sake of being fun, I am sending him to Washington to replace Ertz and giving Jaden Daniels a pass-catching weapon there to be able to utilize the seam and slants in the middle.
And the Ben Sinnott owners fall to their knees in a Walmart.
Bro, they've been in fetal position in that Walmart for like 2 years now.
That one catch on the fake punt in the playoffs has been they've been holding on to that for a long time.
It's just replaying on the TVs in the electronics section of the Walmart.
Speaking of the Washington Commanders, that's where I have Dallas Goedert going.
Oh, that's fun.
In division, they've seen him for a really long time. I think touchdown regression is absolutely coming for him. But, Zach Ertz moving on after the ACL tear, I think that Goddard could end up staying in the NFC East, but signing with Washington.
I have him going back to the Eagles because they seem to know how to use him. They use their skill set well. He was unlocked as a touchdown threat this year, 11 touchdowns, which is
I think
wild.
His career high before that was 5.
Yeah.
So he's really jumped up.
So it doubled last year, and I think they needed that. And Goddard seemed to be like the safety net for Hurts whenever he was in trouble. So I think he's just going back to the Eagles because they seem to know how to use him best, and he's a valuable part of their offense.
Absolutely. It's a shame we ended on such boring options, but that's just kind of...
Should we talk about our trade as a fun, exciting point to end on?
Yes, absolutely.
So anyways, that's our free agency recap.
Those are the free agency predictions. We will absolutely, we have a record of these. We will come back and see I want to get there are a lot of names here, right? I would love if I could get one at each position dead on,
Yeah. It'll be fun to kind of revisit to see what our hit rates are on this. Because I mean, free agency is so hard to predict. There's so many teams
Yeah.
vying for different players. It'll be fun to kind of look back on it.
Absolutely. But me and Tags did conduct a big boy trade in one of our leagues. And it actually happened right after the pod ended last week. We finished and I was like, should we just iron this out right now? Should we just figure it out? And it worked pretty well. So I think we should start doing this more.
Because we had been going back and forth for a few days before then, not really
texting and
figuring it out. And then we were like, you know what? We're both here on a Zoom call. Let's just like, what do you want? What do I want? Let's find a middle ground.
And we did find that middle ground. And this is a fun one. I think that it's very topical too, because I obviously love Amari Hampton, and I did acquire Amari Hampton in this trade. I have also been a bit of a Travis Hunter believer as all of the bad things come out and everybody's sort of panicking a little bit. And so
should I explain the league first?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a weird wrinkle with the draft picks here. So Tags, give us like a Twitter version, like a quick explanation of how the draft picks in this league work and how that changes how they're valued.
All right. This league is an original concept by me. It is my pride and joy. It's my baby. Very proud of it. And it's gone really well. So this league is essentially no one has first round picks. First round picks are in the rookie draft. So if you have the 104, say in this year, say you have the 104, Jeremiah Love goes 101. The person at 102 could take the next rookie, or they could draft the 101 for the next year. So you have the option to punt a draft pick for a better pick the following year. So essentially, your best tradable rookie pick is a second round pick. And second round picks have basically what we figured out is a mid to late first value. Because if I have the 204, then there's 24 first round pick values available each rookie draft. Because there's the 101 through 112 of the following year that you can punt to. Or you can take a first round, essentially a first round rookie pick this year. So it gives you, a lot of the times it'll give you the decision of, do I want the 107 pick this year, or do I want the 105 pick next year, the 104 pick next year?
Basically, it gives you the option to draft the following year's first rounders a year ahead of time. So then all year, the 101, the 2027 101 is going to be sitting on a roster. The 2027 102 is going to be sitting on a roster. And therefore, how you finish on a season does not determine where your first round pick ends up at all. And like Tag said, the best pick you can trade that actually belongs to you is your second round picks. And like he said, they sort of have a late first value, especially if you're a contender. If that's picks like 209 through 212, you're looking at the 20th to 24th pick in the rookie draft. And like you said, there's 12 first round players in any draft, and there's 12 first round rookie picks to be picked in this draft. So you basically get a late first value no matter what second round pick you get. That needed to be said because I traded Tags 2 of my second round picks in this deal. So the full trade, I received Amari Hampton, my boy, who I love, Emeka Egbuka, and Travis Hunter, just piling up on the 2025 rookie class. And I sent away Kenneth Walker, very topical, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, my 2027 and 2028 second round picks, which basically late firsts. So 2 late firsts and Justin Fields as a little nice pod
That's
shout
a little
out.
sprinkle on top of the Sunday.
You're muted.
I'm back.
He's back. He's
It's
back.
a little sprinkle on top of the Sunday, essentially.
There you go. Watch him like start next year and like win you the league. Against
Oh
me or
my
something.
gosh, that would be just poetic.
Yeah. So basically, I looked at this as like I kind of needed to get younger in this league. A lot of my like elite players are aging a little bit. I have Dak in this league. I have Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And so I got younger at 3 spots, and I paid my 2 first round picks, my 2 late firsts to do so.
Yeah, and my team just won the ship in this league. I wouldn't even say it's win now because I have a lot of like 24 to 26-year-old players. It's very much so a contender though. And I took the deal as I can get fairly similar production out of guys like Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Kenneth Walker. And by the time they might be declining, those second round picks are going to be able to hit my team. And hopefully they exceed the duration of their productivity. Because then if that happens, then I won't have so much of a need to draft those players. I can punt that pick and just re-roll it into a higher pick the next year, assuming those players' production kind of keeps up throughout those years. So,
Yeah,
it's a little bit, gives me both a little bit more firepower in the short term and kind of gives me a little bit of a safety net in the long term.
Yeah, so we were both very happy to get this done. I have been a proponent this offseason specifically of not trading your first round pick in the following season. The reason I am okay doing that in this league specifically, the reason I did do that in this league specifically, it's not something I want to be doing. I don't want to be trading my 27 firsts, even on my contenders. I traded my best pick in 2027 and 2028 in this league because there is no chance that this pick becomes a top 6 pick.
Yeah.
Like, that can't happen. It can't be the 104 because of the way that the league works, right? At best, like, even if it goes terribly, it's the 201, and then you're looking at a top, like, a 106 in 2027, or I guess it would be 2028, or a 106 player in the 2027 draft, which is still really good, but my team's also good, and that's probably not going to happen. So I'm more comfortable doing it in this league than another league.
There's no shot that you're going to be the 101 pick.
No.
So yeah, it's very insulated in the fact that it can't be better than a late first. But I'm fine. Like, I don't need it to be. I like the production I'm getting. Plus, I have a little bit of a long term being able to just, if my team's still good in 2 years, cool. I don't need to take a player with those picks. I can just punt it and just keep building the snowball, and then cash in whenever my team needs that production later on.
Absolutely. And we did do this on the call after the pod ended. We did not film it. But what we are going to do going forward is we're going to try and make an effort to do some live negotiations. And then we're not going to put them in the pod because there's a lot of ums and ahs and let me look at this and okay, I'm just going to check this, and it wasn't very entertaining. But I could record it and then cut it up and have it as like a short on the channel or something where people can see some live negotiation, which is a ton of fun.
So now I feel like whenever you have a trade idea, you're gonna be like, Tags, hop on Zoom.
Yeah, no, we cannot. We can no longer negotiate through text messages.
Oh,
we have to put it on the pod. But
well, cool.
that will.
Episode.
Yeah, no, ton of fun. I'm excited to see how this goes. We won't have an episode next week. I am going on vacation at the worst time possible. And I'll never let it happen again. I'm really sorry to the people. But it just didn't make sense. There was nothing that made sense to theme a show around that wouldn't be affected by, the combine. Like, I'd love to do a combine reaction next week, but I'm going to be on the beach. So thank you all very much for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks where we're talking combine free agency. We'll be in the middle of free agency when that pod happens. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe, like on YouTube, rate and review on Spotify, and we will see you all in a few weeks.
Later.